Hello guys, I am Walking the Cow. Today we're taking a trip down memory lane as I show you 5 of the first games that I remember playing. I can't remember every single game that I played back then, but these are 5 that I can remember and definitely 5 that I'd recommend. My first exposure to video games was through my dad's Speccy, so all of these games are ZX Spectrum titles. We'll take a look at these games in no particular order, but I'll save my personal favourite until last. First up, I was never any good at it, but it's one of the first games I ever played, and so I'm going to include it on this list. Paperboy. In Paperboy, it's your job to deliver the morning newspapers to the correct addresses on your little push bike. Papers are limited, so you need to remember which houses actually have a subscription, but if you do make a few mistakes, it's not so much as a problem, as you can find bundles of newspapers at the side of the road. The trickiest part of Paperboy was always watching out for the many things that'll knock you off your bike. They were a lot of fun after a few practices, and not that I had got there very many times as a kid, but the obstacle course was always a lot of fun to try and get through. Next up on this list, an absolute classic. Matthew Smith's Manic Miner. I always much preferred Jet Set Willy, also by Matthew Smith, which I played around the same time, but I definitely remember that I played this game first. Manic Miner was a platform game where you controlled Miner Willy and made your way through single screen levels, first collecting all the keys and then making your way to the exit. It's pretty simple, but typical of early platform games, it's very difficult, it takes a lot of practice to get anywhere. When I think of retro gaming, this is one of the first titles that I think of, along with this next game. The first of his many egg ventures, Dizzy the Ultimate Cartoon Adventure, was a debut game to feature Dizzy the Egg. Dizzy was never actually intended to be an egg, just a simple face with boxing gloves, which was easy to animate and looked like a cartoon character, but because of the round shape, people automatically presumed he was an egg. I'm really happy that this was one of my first games, and I went on to appreciate the later Dizzy games a lot, especially the Amiga versions of the games. But this is where it all started for me, and it's where it all started for Dizzy. It's one of the first games that felt like an adventure to me, making my way around the screens, collecting items while watching out for enemies, including the killer apple. It's not my favourite Dizzy game, that would be Fantasy World Dizzy, but this was the first Dizzy game that I played, and I'd still recommend it to anybody who for some strange reason still hasn't played it. Next up on this list of the first games that I ever remember playing, it's Gift from the Gods. Just as back when I first played it, I still don't have a clue what the hell you're supposed to do in this game. You control a guy with wings on his feet, you fly around different rooms, and you drop what looks like shiny poo for absolutely no reason. Maybe I should have read the manual. Has anybody ever played this game? Does anybody know what you're supposed to do? Anyway, it's one of the first games I played and there's not much else I can say about it. Gift from the Gods. Last but definitely not least, it's a game hated by many but one I've always really liked. Chuckie Egg 2 may be nothing like the original, but it's easily the game I played most on the ZX Spectrum. Swapping single screen arcade gameplay for something more, well, adventurous, Chuckie Egg 2 has you controlling Henhouse Harry again, while instead of avoiding hens and collecting eggs, this time it's your job to work your way through a chocolate factory with the goal of creating chocolate eggs with toys inside. Sound familiar? I understand that this was a lot different from the original and this is why a lot of people hated on it, but I like how it felt like a cross between Jet Set Willy and the Dizzy games. Love it or hate it, it was one of the first games I ever played, and as much as I really like the original Chuckie Egg, I much prefer the sequel, and I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. My name's Walking the Cow, and today we've been looking at 5 of the first games that I ever played. What were the first games you remember seeing or playing? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.